All right, so today we're going to talk about maximum and minimum values in differential calculus. And we have been given a function f of x, and we have been given a statement that says that f is continuous over the interval a and b. All right, the f is nice and smooth, and it's continuous over the interval a and b. And we see that this statement really is important because f needs to be continuous, and a and b needs to be a closed interval for that. And we're going to talk about that later. So we see that there are two different points of our interest. There's this point high enough and that this point low enough. And we have got both in between A and B. So we see that these let's call this a C. All right, let's call this point C, and let's call this point D. So we have established 2 points here, and the value is just going to be that's f of C. All right. And that is simply going to be f of d. So today we're going to talk about what is uh, relative maximum. We're going to talk about relative maximum, and we're going to talk about relative minimum. All right. So we see that the in between this a and b, the highest value of f function we can get is f of c. You can see the graph is just the highest at that point, and then it just really drops down again. So you see that the f of c will be considered a relative maximum at that point. And what about the relative minimum? All right, so in between a and b, we can see that this point d right here can get the lowest value possible of f of x in between a and b. All right, so the gradient is just coming down and down and down, and then it hits 0 at this point, and then it just goes up again. So this point would be considered a relative minimum. That's just going to be f of d. So I'm not giving you any mathematical equation right now about how to calculate these, but we will talk about that in the later videos. Today, I was just going to tell you that what is the relative maximum and what is relative minimum over an interval a and b. So we just use the we just use the derivative of f of x to calculate out what the maximum and what the minimum points are and where they are in the f of x, and we're going to really talk about them in later videos.